Now we go to the risks involved in social media advocacy. We're now getting into the darker side of using social media and digital platforms in ACSM. Advocacy groups often face reputational risks, like in the Philippines, human rights defenders have been red tagged. So they're labeled as communists by coordinated disinformation campaign run through social media troll farms. So this is based on an article with data from Rappler 2020. So surveillance is another threat. The Pegasus spyware scandal revealed how activists, journalists, and lawyers in dozens of countries were targeted by state-level surveillance, data from Amnesty International 2021. So these are not just digital threats, but they put lives at risk. Lastly, there's also what we call polarization, advocacy efforts, especially those around public health, like vaccines. If you can remember during the pandemic, when it was very difficult for government and the World Health Organization to convince people to get vaccinated because of the zombie scare, which this can be drowned out by trolling and misinformation. So this was rampant during of course, the pandemic and made it harder for credible voices to break through. Faris et al. 2018. So algorithms on social media often reinforce beliefs, isolating users from diverse perspectives. So this can hinder dialogue, deepen polarization, and make consensus building for collective action even more difficult. Of course, short attention spans and trend cycles, issues often tend briefly uh, before they are replaced by the next viral case. So this makes it also difficult to sustain momentum for long-term advocacy or structural change. Plus, complex issues can be reduced to memes or slogans, stripping away nuance. And the rapid spread of misinformation can also derail campaigns, damage reputations, and mislead the public. Let me share with you the significant findings of the study of Enjolras et al. 2013, which would sum up the key traced in my presentation. One, it proved that the internet is a mobilizing force. The authors find that social media lower the threshold to protest, enabling people to quickly share information, call for collective action, and also build loose connections in a digital space. So this shift supports what they term supersized effects, faster, coordinated, reduced cost of protests. So there's time and money that you're saving, and of course, broader reach. The second key finding is that it's the transformation of mobilization dynamics. So social media blur the traditional boundary between communication and organization. So what once required physical meetings now often begins online planning, rallying, and identity building in tandem. And this supports evidence that digital channels not only inform but also emotionally bond supporters, reinforcing collective identity. The third key finding is acceleration of pluralism. So their findings align with theories of accelerated pluralism, where the internet enables small issue-focused groups to mobilize and self-organize around moments of action. So these groups can operate rapidly and fluidly, often forming around hashtags or urgent issues. The study reports a notable emergence of key tactics, loose, coordinated, episodic campaigns, viral digital protests, and fast or flash activism, even among those who don't typically engage in politics. So this represents a meaningful change from traditional institutional mobilization. So let me share with you the implications of the study or the study's findings. So, Enjolas et al. 2013 show that social media fundamentally reshapes civic and political participation by mobilization faster, more accessible, emotionally engaging, and locally responsive. However, they also caution that this can lead to fragmented, episodic forms of activism that lack durable organizational structure. In conclusion, we can say that social media can be a megaphone for justice, but it can also be a minefield. It offers reach and direct engagement, yet it demands constant adaptation to platform changes, risks, and misinformation. So, as communicators and advocates, our role, your role, isn't just to use these tools, but to also question them, challenge their limitations, and find safer, smarter ways to mobilize. So, as your fellow advocate and communicator, I leave you with this question. If you may share with us, maybe the challenges or a challenge that you have encountered in the course of, participating or your involvement in an advocacy, communication, and social mobilization campaign. Or please let us know how you or your organization was able to address that challenge. So lastly, I am sharing with you my references for my presentation. Thank you very much and have a great day.